But to an extent, I knew just as much as what the public knew. Like the shit that goes on and what's posted on Instagram, I was following it like I was a fan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, shit.
That has to
I
be
might
crazy.
go. Yeah.
When it's like your whole future, like where you're about to move.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. I'm like looking up places, looking up like, all right, if I go here, this is around there. We could do this. We could do that.
Yeah.
So I was spectating and watching the shit unfold like a fan would. And then, so I had an idea. I almost was going to go to Cleveland. I was close to playing with Bron.
Yeah.
Then Boston was coming through. I wanted to go back home and play for the Lakers. Yeah. That was the initial plan.
Yeah.
Pacers didn't want to do that. Lakers didn't want to give up anything to grab me. So that was a salty taste. Yeah. To be vulnerable, like, hey, I want to come home. Yep. So I put it out there, like, I want to go home, and that's where I'm going to sign to.
That's what I'm saying. That can very well just happen to guys, right? Like, you just get sent to a team.
You do. Like, I mean, at that point, it's whatever's best for the team. They don't care about the player. They never do. It's very rarely the front office or the organization care about the player's livelihood. Yeah. You know, it's whatever is the best opportunity, the best trade out there. They're going to make that trade. Yep. So it scared a lot of teams off. Yeah. And so how Oklahoma came about, like I said, I heard from we was hearing from Miami, we were hearing from Boston, we were hearing from Cleveland. So that was in my top 3. I'm thinking it's going to be one of those places. And then I get the phone call from the Thunder, or not the Thunder. I get the phone call from the Pacers. Mm-hmm. And it's the GM at the time, Kevin Pritchard, and he's like, "Hey, just want to let you know we want to thank you with the group, all of that good stuff. Uh-huh. We found a trading partner. We're going to send you to Oklahoma City." I'm like, "What?" I didn't hear nothing about Oklahoma. Like, where did they come from?
Part of the conversation.
And you know, they had a good package to give him. They gave him Victor Oladipo and Sabonis. So that's 2 good young talents. I was more than happy about what they got in return. Yeah. And coming down to free agency, like I didn't want to waste any time. Like I wanted to give it another shot. I gave him 1 year. We beat and played well against the best teams. Yeah. I wanted to give it a real shot.
So that's how you made that decision.
That's how.
Like, this was good. I didn't get enough time.
And I mean, LA was pissed at me. I didn't give Magic which I understand. Yeah. I understand. But at that point, I mean, I knew I wanted to give it another shot. I didn't want to prolong it and waste people's time.
So you didn't even really explore like the Laker option.
I did not. I did like a little, you know, mini docu series type thing, leading up to free agency, and actually like midnight at free agency, I chose where I was going.
Oh, yeah. Because you had that like Nas party right away, right?
Yeah. Sick Nas Oklahoma party.
Yeah.
It was dope. It was out the chain.
So there was no question.
It was no question. I wanted to get it done with and over with.
Yeah, I was just hoping selfishly that you'd be here.
I wanted to, man. Honestly, I wanted to. I wanted to come back home. Yeah. But
you got plenty of time.
I'm 28. I still got
a lot of time.
Another contract.
There you go.
What's good, y'all? It's kingtise. Welcome back to Throughout the Association. And man, did y'all used to watch Robin Big on MTV? If you did, the guy who was interviewing Paul George should look familiar. That was Rob Dyrdek's little cousin, Drama. I used to watch every episode, so if you know, you know. But shout out to him. This was a very nice interview. Paul George basically summed up his whole life in this interview. The full thing is on Drama Channel, but LA. Now, as you just saw, Paul George just revealed that Magic Johnson and the Lakers were upset that Paul George did not give them a meeting in free agency, but for good reason. First of all, you demanded a trade from Indiana to go to LA. Then you get traded to OKC. Y'all have a super inconsistent season, get knocked out in the first round. The last time we saw you in OKC, Joe Ingles looked like an all-star, and you look like Andre Robertson. Then you do a 3-part docu-series talking about LA, and then before free agency even really began, you re-signed to OKC. And the contract you signed is better for OKC than it is for you. So basically, outside of OKC, all you've been doing is wasting everybody's time and attention. I don't think, maybe it's just me, I don't know, y'all let me know, but I don't think Magic Johnson and LA were the only ones upset and confused that Paul George re-signed to OKC without talking to anybody else. But this was interesting to hear because this kind of go against the notion that once LA got a commitment from LeBron, they stopped recruiting Paul George. What he just said go against that, but This isn't the only thing Paul George said recently that was interesting. Now, a few days ago, Paul George was defending his era against the criticism of super teams, and he said no team has won a title where one single guy was the lone star and it was their team. It's not that era. I'm not sure how the veterans, the legends, don't understand that part. It's a different game now. For those guys who chime in and say we're not built the same, I never understood that, because who would we be fooling if we went out alone and tried to go up against the Warriors? The best guy in our league right now couldn't do it. So that just goes to show you at this point what it takes to win, because you need guys that are alike talent-wise and skill set-wise to win championships. Now, I mostly agree with Paul George. I think he's right. And not just in this era, in every era, every team that won were great teams. But to beat Golden State, Paul George is right. You need great talent, but not just great talent. You need a great team. You need a team that's smart and a team that's a team. They play together and they all on the same page. But all the super teams, it's not even really about super teams. It's about guys being able to do what they want. It's about player freedom, being able to do what's best for you, just like the franchises do. Where I'm a little bit confused is, Paul George, if you know what it takes to be Golden State, why the hell you go back to OKC? Y'all got knocked out in the first round. Meanwhile, LeBron just upgraded his whole roster. I'm saying that because Paul George wanted to go to the Cavaliers that LeBron just carried to the finals, but LeBron just got a much better team in LA. And Paul George didn't even take a meeting with LA, but went back to OKC and claiming he want to win championships. I'm just a little bit confused. That's all I'm saying. What you guys think about this? And definitely subscribe.